Hey everyone, this is P4L. I'm coming back to you with a Ratchet Repair Bay review, or that's kind of what I'm thinking about calling this series if I have to do a lot more of these. This is instructions on how to repair Fans Toys Sheridan, their Warpath. So there are a couple issues with this figure, and I'll go through all of them. The major one being this culprit here. As you can see, he's one-legged. The culprit being this small pin. It's kind of a riveted or ridged pin that whose sole job is to hold this leg onto the lower leg into the knee itself. It appears to only be a left leg issue. I don't know why it would only be the left leg, but as I explained before, this issue happens because this is just a really small pin, and you have to manipulate this leg quite a bit to get it transformed. You have to rotate it, you have to pull this out on this tab and everything like that. So a lot of people have had this issue, so let's go ahead and show that off. The second thing I'll show is a turret repair. Some turrets have been damaged as well, so I'll show you a quick repair on that. And then lastly, the issue with the knee not wanting to bend, the right knee, or hitting a lot of resistance here. There's a quick fix for that as well. Well, it's not really a fix, but an adjustment that may or may not work for you. So the main thing that you will need is a replacement screw from Fans Toys. This little screw here, it's different than the, see if I can focus in on this. It's different than the pin that I showed you before, in that it is actually a screw. It's threaded. It's not just ridges, it's actually screwed in. So you're going to want to, first of all, I highly recommend that you have a properly sized screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver. And what you're going to do, because the way this leg goes in, it's hard to actually get a straight in shot at this leg from behind, from underneath, which is where you're going to need to be in order to, in order to get into it. You can see I can't really get straight in. For that reason, and just for other reasons in particular, to make it a little bit easier, I recommend you go ahead and actually pre-thread this, because there were no threads in this before. You just want to come in here and you want to gently but firmly thread it into the knee itself. So you're going to want to keep screwing. I actually also recommend untabbing this and pulling this section of the knee out itself. Ow, okay, let me get a... I don't know where my spudger went. Here, I'll just use this tweezer spudger. All right, there we go. This one's a little bit, there we go. So what you want to see here is, let me zoom in. So what you want to see here is there's actually a hole right there where the screw will come through. So you just want to, again, pre-thread it until it comes about flush with this side of the leg. I've already done that on this one, but just for completeness, I'll go ahead and do it some more. And then once you're done, just gently pull back or unscrew it. All right, once you're done with that, I've already kind of shown you want to partially transform the leg so that you can get full access to that hole. Go ahead and kind of seat this here and then come in underneath. And so here's my second recommendation. Because you can't get flush in if you try to go straight in, I recommend you actually come in at an angle and make use of the play you have here in the screw to start seating it flush. Once you have that and it starts getting seated, then you can go ahead and just attack it at a slight angle, because that's the only way you're going to be able to get in, right? So again, just be firm, but don't be too aggressive with it, because you could strip the screw. That's definitely the last thing you want to do. All right, that should be enough, and you can see it does clear. There is a lot more play in it than it previously had. That is one downside of this fix, is that or at least in my experience, it has a lot more play. So I guess you could try to be a little bit more aggressive. And again, you have to be firm, but don't strip that screw or you're gonna really damage your figure to the point of no return. So see, there is still a little bit more play, even though I've screwed in a whole lot. But I think this is much better than the alternative, because even this leg has a little bit of play. So then you can close it up, collapse that in, and your Sheridan leg should be, as for the most part, better. So that's fix number one. Fix number two is everyone's right knee, at least everyone I know, has a problem with trying to bend this knee. I showed it before, it has a little bit of resistance. So some people recommended that all you have to do is slightly loosen this screw here. So just slightly loosen it, and it allows you to go in and out. The problem with that is it ends up making the knee super loose, like compared to this one. See, this one holds up tight. What I might recommend you do is bend it at the knee all the way and then screw it in. To make it as tight as possible without interfering. The downside of this, though, loosening it I found, is that the screw ends up twisting. So it ends up becoming loosened over time. So this might be one of those things that's kind of like a temporary fix that you're going to just have to keep adjusting every once in a while. Just like an eighth of a turn, a quarter of a turn, whenever it starts getting loose. So not really the most ideal fix, but it is a fix. Lastly, the turret. The turret's also very easy. You just need the same kind of screwdriver. You're going to come in underneath here. You're going to unscrew this one screw. Take off this piece. Pull out the turret piece. So you can see this is how it was broken. It's supposed to go like this. It is fairly thin, but I don't think you'll have any damage unless you drop it. The replacement part, you could just use this. They also gave me this extra piece. And before people ask, no, this is not mine. I did not break mine. I explained it before. This is damage return from a local. And you just screw this in like so. So that's it. 3 easy fixes. Now your warpath should be almost as good as new. If you have any issues, let your retailer know. They should be able to get you parts. Toy Dojo already has their screws, so if you got it from them, make sure you go ahead and contact them. They are prioritizing people that actually have a broken knee first. So if you haven't exhibited any damage like me, please be patient with them. They've only gotten a small allotment of screws so far, so they're prioritizing those who actually have a knee that's fallen off. But anybody who asks for a screw, I believe, will get a screw regardless at some point down the line. All right? So if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below as usual. If you liked the video and it helped you out repair your Sheridan, Fans Toy Sheridan, please give it a like, share, and subscribe. And as always, if you want to pick this guy up, go ahead and click on the Toy Dojo link in the description below. All right? That's it for today, everyone. Hope you have a good one.